everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Florida Holidays podcast. I'm Abby, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Zara.
Hi.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Good.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about our bread and butter today. As the Florida Holiday Specialist, we are also the home of the Villa Holiday. So we're talking about why Villa Holidays are the right choice for almost every type of traveller.
Ooh, just almost.
Just almost, yeah.
Okay.
We're pretty confident that there's something out there for everybody, but whether it's the right choice for certain groups of people, but we'll touch on that a little bit anyway.
So I'm sure in the main we've got everybody covered with our massive choice available of how many Florida villas?
Over 2,500.
That is amazing.
Yeah, we've got a lot of homes in our collection, from sort of townhomes, which are on the little bit the smaller end. We've got sprawling luxury villas that can sleep like 25, 30 people. In Orlando, we've got villas on the coast, like Anna Maria Island and things like that. We've got a huge selection. We're just going to focus on Orlando for this one.
And I think we could talk about the different communities, couldn't we? There's so much we can say about all the different communities because they are all different.
Yes.
They've all got different unique selling points. Some have got communal facilities, some have got wave pools, some have got slides, some are much quieter. So there's definitely a lot to talk about. But I think the way we're going to try and break it down today is by age groups, I guess, and what your family looks like. So are you someone with little kids, or have you got older teens? Have you got the in-laws with you? So you've got multi-gen travel. I think that's probably how we're going to try and break it down.
Yeah, because
today.
There are so many resort communities that it would just be too hard to try and touch on all of them by, like you said, what sort of amenities they've got. So let's start with, if you are travelling as a family with little children, so say like toddlers and primary school age children, you've been there, done that in the villas. Can you give us a bit of an insight on your experience with it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a villa, when you've got young children, babies, for us, that's the only way we would ever go.
Yeah.
We've always been comfortable hiring a car.
Yeah.
And I think this is where your almost comes in to it.
Almost every type
but
of traveller.
we'll talk about that in a little while. But we've always been comfortable in having a car. So when the children were little, the villa was the best option for us. And it helped us for numerous reasons, really. It meant that we found anyway, that we were able to spend less.
Yeah.
We were able to, sometimes when the kids are little, they're at that age where you don't always feel like you want to battle with them sometimes in a restaurant. You just don't want to eat every meal in a restaurant.
Yeah.
It can sometimes be a bit of a battle to keep them
too
entertained.
much,
It can be, they're tired. So that's where the villa comes into its own for me, I found. It means that sometimes you can do yourself a grab-and-go breakfast. You can, it's so much easier to cater for yourselves in a villa.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even mean cooking every night. That means like having something delivered, or, the kids might want to go in the pool, but you've got to go out for dinner. So it gives you up a little bit more free time.
Yeah, it's a bit more flexible, isn't it?
Some of the favourite things, the favourite meals we've ever had is dashing to Publix, getting something off one of their hot counters, chicken, and a bit of a salad, barbecuing, sitting outside, and the kids are just running riot in the pool. And sometimes that's just easier.
Yeah.
So I think catering wise, there's definite benefits, money saving, and for your own mental health. Sometimes if your kids are sort of full of beans and they don't want to sit still, or equally you're trying to eat your dinner but the kids are there sort of nodding off. It just works. It gives you that little bit of extra flexibility, is what we found.
Yeah.
And then I think The other good thing for us was that it allowed us to keep the kids in a bit more of a routine.
What an absolute dream on holiday.
Yeah.
Because out of routine just equals complete grouchiness.
Yeah, it does. And they're tired anyway because they've been in the parks all day, and it's all a lot for them to handle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely stimulation overload. So being able to keep them in their routine where we could was a definite help for me.
Yeah.
And I think when you've got kids at different ages as well. So Ruby, was a little tiny baby, and Jack was 5. So it's trying to, their bedtimes look different.
Yeah.
Their bedtime routine looks different. And silly things like being able to put them in the bathtub at night. Sometimes you can go to hotels and it's just a shower.
Yeah.
So it's things like practical things that just sometimes make your life a little bit easier in a villa.
Yeah.
It's to the point where it's only probably been the last 5 years or something that we have not solely stayed in a villa.
Yeah.
Now that we like to mix it up and do a little bit of both. But yeah, it's only been recently that we've the hotels have started to work for us again. It was just a little bit more hassle.
Yeah.
And of course, as parents, you want your own time. You don't want everybody in that one room, everybody sharing that bathroom to try and get out in the morning.
It's a lot.
There's so many benefits to having a villa.
Yeah. And once the littles have gone to bed, you can have that time.
Exactly.
Because they're away in their rooms, fast asleep. And, you can stay up and watch TV. You can enjoy maybe your games room or your pool. Or it's makes it a bit more of a holiday for the parents as well, I guess, rather than...
Because, there's nothing worse, is there, when you go on any other kind of holiday and you happen all to be in one room together.
That's what we're going to be like.
The kids are in bed at 8 o'clock and then, mum and dad are tiptoeing around the room.
Yeah.
There's just no need to holiday like that, I don't think.
Yeah, I love that advice, especially... you'd mentioned it on a previous episode about sort of Ruby still needing nap times and you didn't want her to wake Jack up in the night time.
Yeah.
I'd never considered that before because we just have obviously the one child, but keeping the kids separate as well to keep them happy and having the facilities to sterilise things and just take things at your own pace a little bit more.
I just found that it removed a little bit of the bits that you find stressful.
Yeah.
And I think it's about choosing the right community as well. And as always, our experts will be able to advise you on that.
100%.
But when the kids have got slightly different interests as well, so, Jack would like to go off and play football and Ruby would want to... Well, Ruby probably wasn't really that bothered, but me and Ruby would go in the pool or... It's when the kids are slightly different ages, having a community that's got a lot of the communal facilities... we've stayed in ones that have got cinemas, all different things that cater for the kids that are of that different age.
Yeah, that's really helpful advice, definitely as a parent to consider. And as the kids got older, that sort of brings us on to our second category of traveller, if you like, families travelling with teens.
Yeah.
Obviously, the dynamic there looks a little bit different. But some of the homes that we have got incredible facilities for teenagers.
Yeah.
We look at things like games rooms, extended pools, cinema rooms and things like that. It doesn't have to be extravagant. No. Some of the reunion resort homes are extreme.
Oh, they are very extreme,
beautiful. But equally, a lot of the homes in some of the smaller resorts they still have games rooms or home cinemas and things like that. But I guess for me, thinking about families with teenagers, it's about having that little bit of independence and sort of space from each other while still being together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we've had some of our best times in the villas when the kids were starting to get older. It'd be a bit more of a challenge to get the older one up in the morning and things like that. But some of the best times that we've had, we'd have family games nights and things like that. And it doesn't matter we've stayed in homes that have just got a pool table or a pack of cards or whatever, but we'd have a games night and it'd turn all competitive when the kids were older. We'd put our dollar bills in the middle.
Oh, I love that.
It's things like that.
Yeah.
But then when the kids start to get to that delicate teenage years, it means that they can sort of, right, I've had enough.
Once they've had enough,
I've had enough of my parents now. I'm going to take myself off.
Yeah.
And I think it's not just better for the parents; it's better for the kids as well.
Yeah.
And they can go and watch what they want on the, if you've got a gamer at home, like a lot of the villas have got that sort of thing in the rooms. So all of that just keeps them occupied.
Yeah, I love that. And a lot of the villa communities have golf courses as well, and things like that. So, they can make use of those sort of facilities as well as they get older. There's a lot for families with teens to do in villas. I think that's a real sweet spot for it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and a lot of the homes as well, and it changes. Every home is different, but we've rented homes from Ocean before. I mean, we've had there's bikes and things like that. So there's bits and pieces, so you can take yourself off on a bike ride, but you're very often in that sort of safety blanket of the community, a gated community, if that's what you choose.
Yeah.
So they're getting that little bit of independence, that little bit of freedom, but as the parent, you sort of know that they are pretty much safe and sound.
Yeah, you've still got that reassurance of like the close community.
Yeah.
And talking about villas, just very quickly, I know you were saying about you've stayed in lots of different types of villas. I think there's quite a misconception that Orlando villas are dated. And I think they're all individually owned. They're all individually decorated by their owners. But there are some that maybe are still a little bit in the past, but a ton of them are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they are like real home from homes. They are tastefully decorated, they're stylish, they look comfortable, like they're a real home from home feel. It doesn't have to feel like a throwback to the 80s or 90s or whatever. And with so many homes, if you see a home, for example, with our experts and you're like, oh, don't like that decor, but I love the community, they will work to find you something different. There's so many individual homes out there. Yeah.
I mean, I know we joke about it. So many people, they hate it when I ask about a Florida villa because I've got very sort of niche requests. So I don't like any dark bedding.
Yeah.
I don't like, I like a glass shower screen, never a shower curtain. So all of these things are on my need list,
Love it.
Must have list. So they hate it when they have me. So literally you can ask our guys for that level of detail and they will definitely help you out.
You can't be as bad as happy.
No, exactly.
So if we move on then to multi-generational trips. So we're thinking about families that are travelling, parents, kids and grandparents, maybe even, cousins and extended family. Villa holidays are the absolute ideal choice for having shared spaces where you can do things like game nights, like you said, like create all these shared memories, and then everybody is fed up of each other. They all go back to their own spaces. Yeah. And like we sort of touched on before, we have some homes that sleep like 20, 25, 30 people. Like if you need a lot of space, we can give you a lot of space.
Yeah. I mean, that helped. I've always, as you know, we travel a lot with my mum and dad who are very fastly approaching their 80s. So the way we find this really helps is that my mum and dad, they never feel like they have to do stuff. So
yes, that's a good point.
If we have been out all day, we've come back, we want to get washed and changed, we want to go off and do something else. My mum and dad always know that they've got that option there, that if they choose not to do that, like they're absolutely exhausted from the day, it's nice to know as well that they are there. They've got this wonderful home to enjoy. Whether that's sitting outside, whether that's sitting in the hot tub, whether that's watching a movie, whatever that is, they are not just sort of, it's either come with us or it be cooped up in a hotel room.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you know what I mean? They've got that space, and that means that it doesn't sort of disrupt our plans in any way, and everybody has got that they've got that ability to say, well, I don't want to do that tonight. We're going to, and I find that in a villa that that helps. And
Yeah.
before the podcast, I was speaking to my mum and dad about it, and that is something that they really enjoy about the villa, is the fact that they don't feel as though they have always got to be on and going at our pace.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah.
So that is, and we've got to talk about the price as well. So
Absolutely,
like multi-generational travel, whenever we have a villa with my mum and dad, like we split it.
Split the cost.
It just makes it really, really reasonable.
Yeah.
And I think as someone coming from the UK, where our homes are traditionally smaller, every bedroom doesn't normally have a bathroom. So all these things for us coming across from the UK is a real big, it's a massive thing, like to live that American dream lifestyle with the huge refrigerator and, you know, everyone's got their own bathroom and things like that in itself is a novelty, and it's a space that you want to go back to and that you want to enjoy.
Yeah.
And
That's really nice.
it's almost criminal, the fact that there is such a array of things to do in Orlando that you don't spend the time in them.
A lot of time there.
Yeah. So I think as well, when you on a villa holiday, definitely try and make the time, fit it into your plan, fit it into your itinerary, that you are trying to have some of that villa time, because I think you might regret it when you get home.
Yeah,
because
you've been so busy.
we had this wonderful house and we were barely ever in it, sort of thing. We've thought that a few times, so try and make the time to enjoy it.
I love that. That's really good advice.
Yeah. And I think the other thing I wanted to say as well, because I never touched on it when you were talking about the older communities. So I'm very passionate about this subject because with a lot of what people would class the older communities, to me, I prefer an older community.
Okay.
And I prefer an older community because they are a lot more spacious. I've found.
Yeah.
They, the streets that you're on, they're much more open. They're much more spacious in between the homes. You don't tend to be so overlooked. All of these things are what really edge me towards an older community.
Yeah.
And of course, because they're older, they are the first sort of ones that were built much closer to
the
Disney
theme parks,
World, to the Disney parks. So for me, as I like to split everything up and come back and forth a little bit, being so close to the Disney parks is a big benefit for me, versus being in a newer community that's potentially a little bit further away. Yeah. And that's not the case with every community. Like that, some of them are still in really, really good locations. Yeah. But the beauty of the older communities is that you've got more space. You tend to be less overlooked. Your pool decks tend to be bigger. The pools tend to be bigger, and they've all been updated over the years. Yeah. So just because it's an older community, I would really urge that not to put people off that community. Yeah. Because as you said already, there'll be a recommendation that we can make if you want something more modern. We can definitely accommodate that. So I just think don't discount the older resorts because Windsor Hills, Formosa Gardens, Emerald Islands are some of the best communities that you will stay in. Yeah. And they are literally like, I might get in trouble for putting a mileage on it, but I mean, with a few shortcuts, you can literally be at Animal Kingdom from some of them within 10 minutes.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I think it's like 4 or 5 miles or something loosely. Around that mark anyway.
I love that. That's really good advice.
So I just think, don't discount the older communities and think that you want something brand new. Yeah. Because some of the older communities are the best ones that you'll stay in my opinion.
I value your opinion. You're like you're the villa queen around here for sure. So our last one that we wanted to touch on was couples.
Yeah. So I'm yet to experience this because I feel like I've always had my kids.
Your time is coming.
The time is coming.
I feel like people often would discount a villa holiday as a couple. Yeah. But there are ways to do it. And I think when we talk about townhomes, which are still like the self-contained homes, but they're, I would say more like a terraced house almost often. But they're still very much self-contained. You very often have still got your pool. in great locations, but a lot smaller than some of the sprawling villas that we've got.
Yeah.
And I personally think they're good for couples that are not wanting to stay in the theme park bubble.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get out and do like a bit more of the other Orlando attractions, I think it's a really great option for a couple actually. To like go to the theme parks, do your thing, and then come back and relax and just truly unwind at the end of the day.
They're absolute havens, and even in the smaller, like you say, the townhomes, you would never know it once you were inside.
No, when we say smaller, they're still huge.
Yeah, they're still huge, and you still get that same full kitchen. You know, the bathrooms. You still get that feeling that you are sort of living the all American dream.
Gosh, yeah, they might just have like 2, possibly 3 bedrooms rather than like 5, 10, you know, this huge amount of rooms. We saw some townhomes at Windsor Island, I want to say.
Yeah.
And they were beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And again, like the resort facilities as well, they're fantastic. I think as a couple, if you were traveling, like I say, and doing a little bit more of Orlando and wider Florida, I think they're a really great option.
Yeah.
We stayed at Villatel Resort, which is Orlando's first villa hotel, right up I-Drive. And they have some gorgeous, gorgeous homes, but they also have 2 and 3 bedroom apartments as well. So not technically a home, but if you are thinking of staying sort of within that theme park area as a couple, don't need so many rooms, Villatel is a really great option. And that's like brand new. They only just finished adding all of the amenities in towards the back end of 2025.
Yeah.
So everything's like brand new. It's beautiful, gorgeously furnished.
So the Villatel, that's with that one. There is resort shuttles, isn't there? From that one, is that?
Yes.
Yeah, because there's 2 Villatels, but you're talking now about the Villatel
Orlando Resort.
Orlando, which is International Drive, so very
it's
close.
right up the top end. It's right by Fun Spot.
Yeah,
right up the top.
So
end.
it's nearer towards Universal Parks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So that's a good option if you're. I mean, if you might not be a Disney family, you might not be a Disney couple, you might be a Universal couple or whatever. So that would make that a really good option for couples.
Yeah.
And maybe they want the hustle and bustle of I-Drive.
Yeah, there's a lot going on up that area.
Yeah.
And then obviously if you book with Ocean Florida, you'll get your Ocean Explorer included, which does often include a lot of things on I-Drive as well.
Yeah.
So you're sort of perfectly placed to make the most of all of it.
Yeah.
I think I was going to say something else then. It's gone from my brain.
Were we going to talk about the almost part?
Oh, I've remembered what it was.
Oh,
you mentioned shuttles.
Yes.
There are some, very few in number, but there are some villa resort communities that offer shuttles to the theme parks. Again, our teams can advise you on these. They'll be able to help you out. They know sort of which parks they will go to from that resort. They're not very many. Mm-hmm. So if you're not hiring a car, which brings us on to our almost, it's something to think about because, as you mentioned, some of the older communities are close to the theme parks, but then oftentimes your villa communities are a bit further away and you would really struggle without a car.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a huge fan of car hire in the States because I just feel as though it's the best way to get the most out of your time.
Yeah.
So whilst there are villa communities that will, offer you some kind of shuttle, they are few and far between. Yeah. And it can restrict you. So I think if you're not prepared to hire a car, then maybe a villa isn't necessarily the best option for you.
Yeah.
It's absolutely it's by no means impossible. If you stay somewhere like what I mentioned, so maybe Windsor Hills or something like that, you could Uber in and out, or if that's what you wanted to do, but you would limit yourself, I think.
Yeah, because you'd have to think about
it's getting your groceries in and that sort of practical stuff.
Yeah, if you don't mind like budgeting, as you said, for Ubers and things, that's fine. We can do it. But it's definitely just something to bear in mind. I think that is our only caveat to a villa holiday being the right choice for every type of traveller is if you don't want to hire a car.
Yeah. And of course, if you're not sure and you're not sold, that's where the twin centre option can come in as well.
Exactly, yeah.
You haven't got to commit either way, I guess.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can do a week in a villa. You could do 10 days in a villa and then 4 nights, in a hotel, or you can try it out. Our holidays are completely flexible, aren't they? So you can do pretty much what you want to do if you don't want to commit either way.
Yeah, maybe you want to do
a
like
stay.
Yeah, like a week right in the heart of Orlando, either on site with Disney or Universal, or off site in a hotel, and then have a few days downtime in your villa because you just want to chill out afterwards and get out of the theme park bubble, but you actually want to stay still in the sunshine.
Yeah,
that's a nice option. And just to touch really briefly on villas outside of Orlando, because we're going to keep it really sort of Orlando specific, but Anna Maria Island is one of our favourites, so it's your favourite for sure.
It's my favourite, yeah.
And we have a gorgeous, gorgeous collection of villas there, and they are so beautiful. They can be, some of them are literally steps from the beach. Some of them have got their own private walkways to the beach. And again, some will have games rooms, some will have like little cinema rooms. But the option is there still to enjoy that villa holiday away from the hustle and bustle of the theme park capital. It doesn't have to just be in Orlando.
I love the difference in the vibe of the villas between doing a villa on the coast and doing one in Orlando. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the villas in Orlando tend to look very similar. They've all got the pool nets. A lot of them have got the pool nets over the top, which you still tan through, by the way, as well.
Yeah. Because not in like little squares.
That puts a lot of people off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
People think, oh, am I going to tan through that screen net? But yes, you do.
You do.
But you don't tend to have that so much, do you, on the coast?
No.
They're not normally screened.
Yeah. And they're not generally in resort communities. Like we do have sort of townhomes and apartments that are more in resort communities on the likes of Anna Maria Island. But on Anna Marina, they're just like individual homes dotted around.
Yeah,
and they're all so unique. They all look different. Their styling is gorgeous.
Yeah. They're beachy themed. You just get a different vibe.
A lot of coastal theme, like bright, airy colours and things. It's beautiful. Yeah. So I think we've wrapped it up. Unless you...
No, I don't think so. I think one of the things that I always thought of when thinking about a villa holiday was that it would be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Things like doing the food shop, doing
like doing the
cooking.
dishes.
Like I didn't want it. Never wanted it to feel as though I was at home.
Hard work,
basically.
Yeah.
So we have never done that. Like we have so much fun doing the food shop. We order takeout. I do not cook. So I just think for those of you that are put off by that, is it just going to be like I'm at home?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So again, please don't let that thought put you off.
Yeah, I like that. But you can also get all your laundry done before you go home if you want to.
Oh, we do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do that. Well, my mum does. That is a massive benefit for me because when I go on a villa holiday to Orlando with my mum, I'm the child again. My mum does my laundry. Brilliant. You can always find my mum in the laundry. It's a favourite thing to do because it's not like a chore, you see. Because you've got the big American washers, the big American dryers, so it's all a novelty.
Fun.
So it's completely fine. She loves it. She's happiest in the laundry room, and I'm not even joking.
I love that. On that note, I think we have covered every type of traveller, including ones that are happiest in the laundry room. So we'll wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for joining us again on the Florida Holidays podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, all your socials, wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.